transferring data. Ads remaining.
Hey there. Good morning. Welcome to Peter versus the Machine. I'm Peter, and that's the machine right over there. We're going to play it. This is my first episode of this show, so I'm very excited. If you're seeing this, why, thank you. Thanks for showing up for my first episode. What I want to do on this show is play strategy games. I've been about a year ago that I took over the Twitch channel for Gen Con Twitch channel, and for a while I was kind of in the mode of like, how do I take all the things I want to do and make it work on Twitch? And then I realized Twitch really just is mainly people playing games and talking about games. I'm like, I like to play games. I like to talk about games. Why don't I just do that, since that's what people want to do on Twitch? So here I am. I do not claim to be amazing gamer. I am here to show you what I know how to do, but I'm also here to learn. So I'm going to play strategy games, and I'm going to teach them. And if you have ideas of how I could improve my game, then go ahead. I got Marcus here backing me up. Everything all right, Marcus?
Everything's looking great.
All right, I guess we're doing it. All right, so we're going to play Through the Ages. Let me switch to that. And hi, guys. Hey, thanks everybody for checking in on chat. That's another thing I want to do is I want to do this show and keep a better. This type of show, I'm hoping I can really like watch chat and hang out with people and talk. So hey, thank you, Simeon of Trier. I know who you are. All right, let's go. Let's quit. Okay, PVM. What do I do next? Game only. No, game with me. Let's see if this works. Okay. Hi, is that working? Is that me? Can you see me there in the little thing? All right, cool. This is so much fun. Okay, so the game we're gonna play. My first episode is one of my favorite board games that has been adapted to. You can play it on Steam. You can play it with other players. You can play it by yourself on Steam. This is one. I'm not sure I would ever say this about any other board game, but this board game, I will say, I recommend playing it on Steam. This game as a board game has a lot of stuff to keep track of, and it's just really lends itself well to being played on Steam. Okay, so Through the Ages is a civ building game. I love civ building games. What can I say? And this is one of several that I play. This is by Vlada Svadl, Czech Games Edition. It's an excellent game. Vlaja is the same designer that did Codenames, Galaxy Trucker. I don't know what all. Anyway, he's a great designer, and like I said, I like this game. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I'm going to play a local game. I'm going to play a custom game. So in this game, there'll be four of us. Me, I'm Haas. I always play yellow because nobody likes to play yellow, so that way I always get to play the color I want. And so I'm playing against three AIs. And if I'm playing this kind of easy mode, I gotta say, like I said, I'm not like claiming to be the super awesome, excellent gamer who can always win everything. No, that is not me. I am playing the AI in this. You start off at A1, 2, 3. I'm going to play against one that's a little bit better than, a little bit harder than the tutorial mode. And I'm going to have one of the AIs be a level 2. In my defense, the AIs in this game are really, really good. Whoever programmed this, they looked at something like thousands and thousands of games that they had stats on in their online library of people who played the game and what cards to play and stuff like that. And so Paul's asked, I got to play Wingspan. Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe we'll get around to that one at some time too. Okay, so I'm going to play at this level. Now, when this game first starts, a couple things are going to go by here real quickly, and I'm not going to have a chance to explain everything that's happening while all this stuff is flying by. But as soon as it gives me the control of the game, I will catch you up. All right, there I am. Okay, so Through the Ages, here we are over here. This is players 1 through 4, and it randomly put me in as player 4. So the other 3 players, the other 3 AIs have all gone already for this first action. Now, as a civ building game, you're trying to build your civilization from the ancient era all the way up through the current times. And this is what my empire looks like, this big yellow stretch of land with little huts and stuff like that. It'll look more interesting later. Red's empire looks the same, except it's red. Green. Guess what? Blue? Yeah, okay, so you get the idea. This is not a game where you're civ building on a big map and there's this, it abstracts all the geography, and you can basically go to war with anybody, no matter, you don't worry about where everybody's at. So what are we looking at here? This is my stuff, okay? This stuff in the middle. Marcus, can you see the mouse move around like that when I'm doing this? Can you see my mouse? Can you guys see my mouse in chat?
We did leave it attached.
Yeah. Okay. Marcus says you guys can see the mouse. Okay. So what I see over here, these are warriors. If I pause and my mouse over that, it's a unit of warriors. Because there's one flag, we know that there's one of them. I mean, not literally just one soldier, but like one unit of warriors. These are farms, 2 AJ farms, and here you look at how many lights are on in the huts. That means we got basically 2 farms. We have, or better way to say it, we have 2 population working in farms. Okay. And over here we have mines. We've got 2 population working in mines. Over here we have labs. We have 1 population working in labs. Over here we have the technology for temples, but we don't have any population in there. So you can have the capability to like have temples, for example, but unless you've, and that's called having the technology. If you've researched the technology, it doesn't mean it's doing anything for you until you move a population there. So down here are these blue and yellow cubes or tokens. The yellow ones are population, and so you can assign them. This is like a pool that you have that you can tap into. This function where it says 2, it looks like bags a week. That's 2 food. For a cost of 2 food, you can move one of these guys from the pool to this. Now this little box is called idle workers. These are workers or population that you have that aren't doing anything. I mean, we all know people like that, right? So you can put them to work by putting them up into here. You can also move stuff away. You can say, I don't need that many wines. I really need more science, and move a guy out to here and then reassign him to here. Okay, so you'll see all that in action. During the very first turn, the turn that we're almost through because all the AIs went before me, we have only one thing that we can do, which is buy technology. And you see these white dots that are down in the bottom right? These white cubes are like, how long does an average game take, Paul? Probably, if you know what you're doing and playing AI, like if I wasn't explaining everything, if I was just playing bam, 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 probably an hour or 2. If you're playing with other people, lots of people playing, it's a full night. This is a 3 or 4 hour game if you got 4 people, and that's even if everybody knows what they're doing. So it's pretty good. But you get through a whole civ building game. You go all the way from the ancient era till the end. Okay, so here I've got these white tokens down here are what's called civic actions. These are this is kind of your currency of how much you can do in a turn in what's called civic actions. In this first turn, all we can do is use those white cubes to buy cards that are up here on this strip. Okay, so and you can see some of them are blank. That's because those are the cards that the other AIs already took. Okay, and so with 4 cubes, now if you want to take, you see how there's a little cube here, a little cube here. In this first section, any technology that you get from in here costs you one of those actions. And any one that you get in the second section, you can see 2 dots, costs you 2 of those civic actions. etc. 3. So the only thing I have to do right now is figure out what I'm going to buy with my 4 civic actions from this row. These cards, if you click on a card, it'll give you the full version of it, Library of Alexandria. This purple border tells me that it is a wonder. And Armando, hey Gabriel. Oh, I outed you. Armando. Nobody knows who his secret identity is. Thank you for coming on the show. So Library of Alexandria is a wonder. So if you play their civ building games, you kind of have an idea. But this is like a one-of-a-kind, super cool thing that you could do. And like many games with wonders, some of them are great, some of them are not so great. This is actually one of the good ones. This is really good. I'm probably going to take this card. Yellow cards are like instants, if you will. They're like use them once for some sort of benefit. This particular one lets you build or upgrade a mine or a farm and pay 1 less. So the cost, we didn't really get into that, but the cost of moving this guy up to here, which I can't do right now because in this first turn I can only buy cards, it costs a certain amount of food. So if I click on that, by the way, I can see this is what the card is. This agriculture card represents this technology that's going on right now. So here you can see that it costs 2 rocks to excuse me, it costs 2 rocks to take a population and assign it to agriculture so that they start farming for you. And you can see the 2 yellow dots there. You can see that there's another way of visualizing that. Yes, I have 2 population assigned here, 2 on the mines, 1 on the labs, which is the philosophy lab, and none in religion. Okay, so that's what Rich Land is, a use once card. That will, these yellow cards, you use them once type of thing. And I got other wonders. These over here, Moses and Aristotle, these are leaders, and your leaders are they give you some sort of ongoing effect. You can only have 1 leader at a time, and each leader has an age. So you see, in fact, every card has an age. You see the age at the top of all these cards up here. It means these are all ancient era cards, and some of them will expire at some point. So leaders are a good example of that. I only have access to age A leaders right now. If I play one of those, it blocks me from taking any other age A leader. And if I haven't replaced that leader with an age 1 leader, by the time age 1 is over, I will lose the leader automatically. So a lot of these cards, some of the cards will stay around forever. Some of them will only last until the end of the next age after that. Okay, so with 4 actions, I could buy Library of Alexandria and a leader. That's probably what I'm going to do. I like Library of Alexandria a lot. I also like Colossus a lot in this game. And Colosseum too. They're all... One thing about this game that is really good and also really frustrating is that the cards are pretty well balanced. I mean, almost every card here is a good card. It's just a matter of picking out, like, for your play style and what your strategy is going to be. Well, I will give you one recommendation on strategy right off the bat. Military is hugely important in this game. Really important. Even if you don't feel like, oh, I'm going to be a peace loving, I'm not a warmonger. I mean, I don't feel that way. I love being a warmonger in games. But I got to say, you might be the most peaceful person around. You better take some military. I asked a guy once at a convention, I was trying to get some advice on Through the Ages, and I asking him, how hard do you work at being first in military? And he's like, sometimes. But then he looks at me and goes, Peter, never be last. And that is the best advice I ever got about through the Ages. You never want to be last place on military because everybody else gangs up on you and you will never get out of there. You're just hosed. So I think I might have talked myself into taking Colossus instead of Library of Alexandria. And these yellow cards are always nice too. I also gotta say, it feels horrible to lose because your opponents are wiping you out. Like, I would rather have a strong military, but Oh, I lost because I didn't have enough culture. Oh well, but at least I had a really strong military. I would rather do that than, well, than pretty much anything else. Okay, so I am. By the way, I didn't explain how this game ends. So this game will go through all four ages: the ancient age, the first age, second age, third age, and the final age. I think it calls. So anyway. The first and last ones are just one turn each. The first the ancient age. Excuse me. This is always a little confusing. There's the ancient age. It only lasts one turn, and then we go to the first age. Anyway, sorry about that. I apologize in advance. And anyway, when you've gone through all of that, whoever has the most culture wins. So military, that's just how you stay alive. Although you can use your military to take culture from other people, and who knows, we might do that. All right, I am going to take Colossus because I've talked myself into it by telling you how important it is, and I'll take Rich Land with my other two because I can't take one of these three. Okay, so I'm not going to get a leader right away. Well, you can't have everything. That's the theme of this game. You can't have everything you want. You just can't. Okay, so one thing I'm going to say before, I mentioned we saw all these blue and green and red did stuff before I got to go. We can click on this and it gives you a blow by blow of everything that's happened so far in the game. So we can go here and say blue, they took Cleopatra and stuff I haven't explained yet. They had their production phase. Green took pyramids and a leader called Ashoka. Red took Hanging Gardens and Julius Caesar, and I took Colossus and Richland. Okay, so what's going to happen when I hit end turn? At the end of your turn, certain units certain guys that you have produce. They do stuff. So the farms are going to produce food. The mines, and let's go on this page. So the agriculture. The two population I have there are each going to produce one food. So 1 + 1 is 2. And so up here, by the way, are the running totals of how much you have and your current production. So the fact that this is going to produce 2, I know that also by looking up here and seeing the little +2 beside the grain. When I hit end turn, it produces. This is going to jump up and say 2 + 2. And these are the mines. They're going to jump up and say 2 + 2. These are science. This is going to jump up. I'm only going to generate 1 science. So it'll be 1 + 1. And I'm not going to generate any culture. So this is the symbol for science. And this says, the philosophy lab is every turn it generates, every population you have there will generate 1 science. Now I have this religion. It generates culture. That's what the little heart symbol is. And happiness. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. So we, but I don't have any population assigned to religion. So I've got the technology for religion, but I don't have anybody actually worshiping. So I'm not going to end up getting any of those things. So let's hit end turn and watch, and it's going to do that. There, boom, 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 boom. It did it. Okay, so up here we have now the 2 food +2. We've got, well, actually that's how much blue has. So once again, it's going to go through and do what all the other AIs are going to do their thing. Here goes green. Green put their leader into play, and they're increasing their population. They're grabbing yellow. It's kind of hard to explain what's going on at the speed that all this is happening. I'm just going to let it go. And I think I'm not going to actually try and explain everything. But here I can look back and see. If it goes by too quickly, I can look back and see exactly what everybody did. But let's just focus on what I'm doing for now. Okay, so you can see that I did indeed produce the 2 food. Now I have 2 food instead of 0. And now I have 2 mines. And it's also, you can look at the little bags here. So these little blue bags, they're blue to kind of correlate with these blue tokens that are over here. There's as these tokens, as you produce food, it grabs blue tokens and converts them into little bags of grain. As you produce let's see, this is resources with your bronze mines. It grabs two of those blue tokens and sets them over here as rocks. Or in this mode, you can see there's two blue tokens. It's so a blue token could be either food or resources, depending on where it's placed. The yellow tokens are always going to be population. They're either population that is potential population, or idle workers, or population has been assigned to some technology to do the work. All right. Okay, so what do I care about what's happened over here? Well, one thing you can see right off the bat over here is that the blank face, like what I have, this means I don't have a leader. So the other three AIs all picked a leader. So I'm behind already in terms of leaders. They all picked a leader, and now you can see the face of the leader. So a little more interesting than what I got to show. So I see that Aristotle's available. I'm probably we'll grab him. Okay, so the first part of my turn would typically be what's called a political actions, but it requires these political cards, which I didn't have any, which I don't have any. So nothing happens. So we just skip that phase. So the basic structure of a turn, when it's your turn, is the political actions, and then your main actions are called civil and military actions, and then you end turn where all your stuff produces. So now that it's my turn, we skip the political, but we'll see it in future turns. I get to decide what I want to do. Well, there is kind of just like in chess, you move your pawn to king 4. There's kind of a couple of important good things to do on turn 1, and that is to take one of your guys up here and build a mine. Now remember, I have rich land, which gives me a discount of 1 in doing that. So it's smart enough to say, hey, do you want to use that rich land card? Good thing, because I forgot. So it only cost me 1 to build. Now you see there's 3 lights on in the mining area. 3 lights on in the mining area. Or this, you see the three population tokens there. So mine production is really important in the game. I definitely want to build this Colossus as soon as I can, but not right away. I got other things I want to do first. What it's going to cost is it's going to cost 2 actions. See the 3/3? That means that it's going to take 2 actions, 2 civil action to build the Colossus, and each of those actions is going to cost 3 rocks. And I don't have that many right now, and like I said, there's other things. And I just spent one of the ones I did to increase my production. But now, you see my production has gone from 2 to 3. So that was a 50% increase in production, which is really going to be important. And the other thing I like to do on the opening turn is to increase population again. The reason for this is that sometimes there are things, it's good to have an idle worker here as a general rule. If you lose there are cards, there are events that will happen where you might lose a card and or lose a population. And if you've got an idle one here, you lose that instead of one that's out there working the fields or working the mines or something. The other thing is that there are also event cards that will, like, hey, if you have an idle worker, you can assign it to temples, to religion, or to war for free. So I like having that guy there. Okay, so you can see down here, I've spent 2 of my civil actions. One of the actions was moving one of these workers to the mines. The other action was spending 2 food to get one. I got 2 actions left that are the civil actions. I also have these little red dots down here that showed up. Those are military actions that I can't do anything with yet. In fact, many turns these will go unused, or not all of them will get used. But the number that you don't use, there's a benefit. It's how many cards you get of the event and military cards at the end of your turn. So you'll see that show up. Anyway, I got 2 more civil actions. These you definitely want to spend every one you can, every turn. And I know exactly what I'm going to take. I'm going to take Aristotle. I haven't been the leaders all have a unique ability. Aristotle's abilities, every time I take a technology card from the card row, I score 1. In this case, the technology cards, I think I've been a little fast loose on my vocabulary. Those are specifically these ones that are gray. Those are the technology cards. I'm also going to take Engineering Genius, because what this does is when I build a Stage of a Wonder, I can pay 2 less. So with this card, I've lowered the cost of Colossus from 6 to 4, effectively. So I take both of those cards. Remember, see, I told you military, don't be last. I'm already tied for last. Look at red is already in, has a military. That's what this number is, by the way, on the right beside each leader, is how strong they are. So that's okay. Anyway, okay, I've taken the cards I want. The leader, it's one card to take the leader into your hand. It's another. That's one action. It's another action to actually play the leader. These cards that are when you grab cards from this row up here, they're not in play; they're just in your hand. So you want to activate that leader. It's going to take another. I could have, by the way, let's let you back up. I could have used one action to bring him into my hand, and then second action, go ahead and assign him. But and now I would have Aristotle working for me. But since I can't draw a technology card this turn, there's no benefit to have him in there now. I'd rather get Engineering Genius to help me build the Colossus. Also, we didn't talk about what the Colossus does. Right now, it doesn't do anything because it's not built. Once I've paid the 6 rocks and 2 actions to build the Colossus, then, well, you can read at the start of age 2 and age 3, draw 3 military cards. Okay, well, that's nice, but that's not the main reason. The little shield sign is military strength. It gives you +2 to your military strength and 1 to navigation, which is something that will come up later when it comes to colonizing. So once I get that belt, +2 military strength in the early game is very nice. All right, that's it. So let's hit that. My farms or my mines are all producing. There, you see I got 2 cards. It kind of went by kind of fast, but we're going to click through what everybody else is doing here real quick. And one thing I learned, if you're playing on Steam, it does pause so you can read all this stuff, but if you just hit, once in a while, like here, it wants to know what I want to do. So development of science. This is saying that he played, an event was drawn called Development of Science. We'll explain a little more about events in a moment. And the event is each civilization scores 2. So this happened on Red's turn, and it's pausing and making me click OK so that I saw that and know where the 2 science is going from. But you can just kind of click through and it'll go a little faster. Okay, now it's back to my turn. Okay, so now I mentioned the first thing that happens on a turn is your political actions. That's these cards here. We skipped it last time because we didn't have any, but now I do have a couple of these cards. And the reason I got 2 is because I have 2 military actions that I didn't use last turn, so I ended up with 2. By the way, that maxes at 3. You can get more of these things, of course, with better sets of government. Right now, my government is, I'm a despot. You would be too if you were playing this game. I'm a despot right now. And a despot is a form of government. Not a very advanced form. And it gives me 4 civil actions and 2 military actions. That's what this is all about here. So this little number here in the bottom right corner is 2, is the most people that you can have assigned to a specific technology of the civic technologies. What are those? That's these ones over here. That's numbers, not agriculture and mines, because I've got 3 on mines. But I could not have more than 2 people assigned to laboratories with the despot government. With more advances, higher levels of government, you get more actions and you get increases in how much you can gang up on certain, or assign a lot of people to one technology. Okay, so I can play one of these 2 cards in this phase, and What happens though, before we talk about them, you see these piles up here. Um, when you pick an event, you don't know it's going to happen sometime in the future, fairly near future, but you don't know exactly when, because what happens is that there's always two piles. This pile here are the events that are going to happen. There's 5 cards in that pile, so the next 5 events are going to be from this pile. When I play a card, it goes up here, or any of the AIs play an event card, it goes in the future events deck, which is on the left. When this deck runs out, these cards are shuffled and move over to here, and new cards end up in the new future events deck. Okay, so right now there's cards here. Now I will say that the event cards in Era A are mostly good. Not all, mostly good. And they kind of help you accelerate the building process. And so it's good to get these guys. So what happens, so I'm motivated to play one of these cards onto this, because whenever a card goes in here, one of these comes out. That's how you get one of these cards to appear. So let's see what these cards do. The civilization with the most culture points, if you are one of, let's see, with most culture, if you are one of the 2 weakest civilizations, you lose population. Right now I am one of the weakest, so I'd be nervous about playing that. I mean, I'm hoping to fix that soon, but I'm not going to be fixing it this turn. This card is strategic territory. Okay, so these are territories. These are places that can be colonized in the course of the game. And that's where that naval thing. These can't really hurt you. I mean, they can, somebody else, we'll all get a chance to go try and colonize these territories if we want to. So it can kind of hurt you in the sense that maybe, somebody else gets it if you don't get it, but it's not going to hurt you directly. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. You see it went in that left pile, and then the AI, we drew one from the top. Okay, development of warfare. All civilizations on your turn, you may build a warrior unit for free if you have an idle worker. Well, I did talk about how if you have an idle worker, you get to build things. But there's also one that lets you build a temple for free, and I'm more interested in that. So I'm actually not going to do this. I know military is really important, but science is also super important. Happiness is important. Cultures, they're all important. So I'm actually going to pass on that. One of the things about the early game strategy, I see this game has a lot going on. There's a lot of strategy in this game. And I think I've warned you, I'm not super good at it. So if somebody's watching and knows how to play this, let me know. Let's see. Armando, I recall being a despot once upon a time. Nobody liked me. You're right. I had not met you at that point. So I was not, my impressions were not colored by your past. Okay, so I passed on that. I played my event. Now it's time for my normal, play my civic actions, military actions. Okay, my top priority in this second turn is I really wanted to build a mine off the bat. I really want to build another lab very quickly. So now I've doubled my science output. I've gone from 1 a turn to 2 a turn. So that's really important. I'm going to bring up another worker. Okay, so now here you notice that this worker is orange instead of yellow. This idle worker. It means that it's what do they call it? Discontent, I think. It means that these workers are not so happy, and it's because I have a happiness problem here. As you move these yellow tokens out of the supply into the idle workers area, which is what I just did. Let me back up so you saw that. See, this token was here, and I spent 2 food to move him from here to here. When I did that, my people just aren't very happy. They want some luxuries. They want some religion. They want some bread and circuses, maybe something. But I'm going to go ahead and this is not a good thing, but it doesn't hurt you unless a card comes up that penalizes you for having discontent workers. So I'm going to take a chance that doesn't come up. because I really want to have one here in case the free religion comes up. That's really what I want. Let's see. A re-education camp. Okay, yeah, that probably happened. Okay, so I got to think about what I'm going to do. I've already used 2 of my 4 actions, and there's a couple cards up here I really want. I'd like to get my leader out of here. I could play, if I don't build anything else, with the 2-point discount on the engineering genius. I could build half my wonder, and then next turn I build 3 more rocks. I get the rest of my wonder. That's probably a pretty good idea. But the struggle, there's always things up here that you want. Like, I wouldn't mind getting Frederick as a leader for age 1. It's possible to just skip having a leader in age 0. But when you replace a leader, instead of letting them expire, it doesn't cost you a civil action. So that particular action is free. I also really like bread and circuses. Bread and circuses is a technology that gives you 1 more strength and 2 happiness. And happiness is what's hurting me right now down here. But I also want to get this thing built. Oh, that's the tough part. What do you do? What do you do? Any advice from chat? No. This is where I go, I really don't know the best thing to do here. I don't even know if I should be holding out. I think I might be able to find out so I'm playing with an expansion that there's the original cards that came out when the game was published, and there's expansion that has more cards that came out with it. I should check and see if the card that I'm hoping to get is even in this deck, because it randomizes. I'm not cheating here. You're allowed to know what cards are in the deck. Religious. I'm looking for the card that gives you a free religion. I don't see that card. Am I looking in the right deck? The other one's the technology deck. Yeah, it's not in there. Okay. I'm going to back off of the having a discontent worker. I'm going to save that until I have more happiness, because the card I was hoping for isn't going to come up. So that gives me 3 actions. And I'm really tempted to take knights. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm going to take knights. I blew all my actions. I'm taking knights because, well, don't be last in military, Peter. That's what I was told. I think it's right. So that's really all I did this turn was build the science and grab knights for the future. It's so hard to pass by playing Aristotle and working on my wonder, but knights is a game changer once I get more happiness. Anyway, so many things I want. Okay, I click in game. There I get 2 more cards for my unused military actions, and blue is changing. They're building Library of Alexandria. I'm jealous. And now green is going to go do some stuff. Everybody gets 3 military cards. Okay, that's good, because we're going to want some tactics. So I'll explain here in a bit. Okay, red's going to go. Red's played Eleanor. Red took bread and circuses, of course. And now it's back to me. Now I have a whole bunch of these cards. And by the way, they're not only going to stick around. At the end of a turn, you draw as many cards as you have unused military actions, these red dots down here, and then you discard down to that many cards. So those 3 extra cards were great, but I'm going to get rid of a bunch of them. But that's okay. I see the one I want. Okay, tactics. We haven't explained this yet. Tactics is a type of event card that comes up here. Tactics, let's say I get my knights out there. Okay, knights have a strength of 2. And so if I get a population on there assigned to knights, then I would increase my strength of 2. My warrior that's out there, he has a strength of 1. Okay, what tactics does is says if you've got, in this case, a warrior and a cavalry, which the knights are knights qualify, you get a bonus of 2. So if I have knights have a strength of 2, warriors a strength of 1, plus medieval army, that's a strength of 5. Plus if I get my colossus, a strength of 7. That would look pretty nice. See, now I am tied for last place. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay. I got to be patient though. I've got to get my strength up. Okay, so one thing that's going to be a problem is this. Let's see. First of all, political actions. It's hard to play and talk at the same time. Jeez. I don't know how the streamers do it. Okay, so it's time to play a political action. Now, all that's from these cards. Not all of these qualify. Tactics I would play as a military action using red dots later. It's usually these green cards that you would play, or an aggression card. Okay, so there's 2 ways to attack another civ. It's all very abstract. It's not like moving armies around on a map like in, say, Sid Meier's civ, which we'll play at some point in this show. This one, I would play it now if I could. But since I'm the weakest civ right now, which I just told you is really bad, and everybody be weak, then there's no sense. I'd be going up against stronger or people just my own strength. What you have to do is these brown cards are aggressions. If you do play it, you resolve it right away. You pick who you're attacking, and in this case, if I won, I would gain 2 rocks and 2 foods, and they would lose a population. And on their turn. So, but to win, I have to have a higher strength than they do, and I don't have a higher strength than anybody else. Also, they can play cards to defend themselves, and any card that they would have counts as 1 strength. Now they can only play as many cards in defense as military actions they have. I think I might be wrong on that. So anybody who has cards, see, she's got a whole bunch. Everybody's got cards because that event just came up where everybody got to draw 3 cards. Everybody's got cards, so everybody here effectively has a strength of at least 2 higher than the number showing on defense. So there is a benefit to the defender. So the aggressions, you've got to be significantly stronger to have a hope of the aggression winning. There's also what's called a war, which is a more all-out sort of campaign. I'll explain those when we get to them. They work a little bit differently. Okay, so this card, by the way, is used on defense. Any card has a strength of 1, but this card on defense has a strength of 2. It has no other purpose. Well, it also would be used for colonizations, which we'll get to. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I can't do any of these here. So it comes down to these things. Both of these are the strongest civilization takes a yellow token from the weakest civilization. I don't want that coming up right now, or even real soon. Barbarians. I don't want that coming up. So I'm not going to play an event, which is kind of sucky because I want to kind of slow down the flow of events until my military is strong enough that I'm not that I'm not getting screwed by the ones that hurt the weakest player. And there are a lot of those, especially in Age 1. So there's another strategy tip. In Age 1, you particularly don't want to be the weakest player. And I'm the weakest player, and it's Age 1. Okay, anyway. Okay, let's stay on target. Okay, I'm going to skip politics. I'm not going to play one of those because the cards either I can't or it could hurt me until I get a little stronger. Okay, so now I'm into my normal civil and military actions. If I play one of these things, I'm going to have a discontent worker issue. Well, okay, the way I fix this problem is to build a religion unit, assign a population to a temple here. And that'll give me 1 happiness. And I'm down 1 happiness. There is a card right here called Theology, which, by the way, it's a technology, so if I played Aristotle first, I missed the chance to get a free point of science when I grabbed knights. There was some really important reason why I didn't do that. Oh, that's right. I built labs. Oh, I got it either way. I'd rather have the production than actually have 1 point of science. Okay. I could do this. Since let's you back up, I'll show you one option here. I could play. Let's go right to the beginning of my turn. Okay, so one option here. I reset kind of. I could play theology, and then I could invest. I could spend. So now, how do you develop a new technology? Well, this is a technology card. The two in the upper left corner where it has all science. That is the cost of developing the technology, and I've got 6 science, so cost is no problem. Theology is cheap actually. This is also telling you that it's an age 1 technology. It's in the category of religion, and it would cost me 5 rocks to assign somebody there, and then it would generate 2 happiness and 1 culture. So it's kind of nice. It's a big investment, especially in actions. 2 actions to get it, another action to play it. If I had a worker, I could assign it. Watch, if I build a worker, I don't have any civil actions left, so I can't actually get it in play. And I didn't even put out Aristotle. So I'm not going to do that. I think what I'm forced to do here is play, build the population, and put it over there. That solved the happiness problem for now. And you see how these are all grouped. I don't know if you can see. They're all in one little box here. And once all of those, I don't know if the second happiness will come up here or here. I'm not sure when. But anyway, I have at least a couple of more population I can build before I have to worry about my second point of happiness. Okay, so that solves that problem. And I don't have enough food. I only have 2 food. I don't have enough food to build another population. But I'll get another one this next turn. So next turn I'll have 3. And I'll have 3 more rocks. So I'm looking down the road and thinking knights. I could also be thinking about the Colosseum. See, there's so many things you want to do. That's the hard part. Okay, the real answer to the military situation is to get knights and this tactic in play. So I'm going to focus on that. I can go ahead and play this now. There's no advantage to it. Do I want to play it later? Well, I think I want to go ahead and play. Let's see. When I do play it, it's going to cost 1 action to get him out there. This will be next turn. An action to bring out another person. Then there'll be a military action out of this red pool to deploy this population to the knights. So anytime you're building military units or advancing them in any way, those are when the red tokens and military tokens come into play. Okay. And I think what I want to do is I like Frederick as a leader, so I'm going to play Aristotle and grab Frederick. I don't know if I'll ever get the Aristotle bonus, but playing Frederick next turn will be free. It'll also, Frederick as a leader, improves your ability to make military units, which I know I'm going to do next turn. For 1 military unit action, I can increase my population and build a new military unit in 1 military action. So that'll be very efficient next turn, and it costs me 1 less rock and 1 less food. So Frederick is pretty gross for building military. So I got 1 more turn here where I'm in last place, and then next turn things are gonna change, I think. Okay, I'm gonna this little drop down menu of what you did is a good thing to do at the end of a turn. Like, are these really I increase my population so I can build a temple, I fix my happiness. I played Aristotle. I don't know if I'll ever get that benefit, but it doesn't really cost me anything to play him in the long term, because when I move Frederick there, it'll be a free action if I have a leader there already. So maybe I'll get a use out of Aristotle next turn. We'll find out. Okay, that's it. I'm going to play it in that turn. Okay, this, at the end of the turn, it looks and says, hey, you've got a bunch of cards more cards than you have military action or you know, the number of red dots you can have, whatever that's called. What do you want to get rid of? So I've got to delete 4 of these cards. Well, I know I'm going to keep that one, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Once I am the strongest player, then these cards are a lot of fun. This is that really hurts somebody. This one, the strongest civilization takes a yellow token from the weakest civilization. That's really, really nice. So those are the cards I want to keep. So I'm going to delete everything else. The aggressions are nice too, but all right, confirm. Boom, there it goes. So it does that before you actually draw the new card. So now I'm back up to more than 2. Development of religion. That's the one I wanted to show up. I thought I looked at it. Oh, okay. Now you're seeing me do a real idiot move. Okay, this is the card I wanted to come up to get a free religion. And I looked and I didn't see it there, but it was there and I just missed it and I could have just gotten a free religion if I did. Well, I did tell you that I'm not super good at this game. I warned you. But I'm teaching the game, and if you know something, you can help me. See, I'm teaching myself too. Of course, I'm playing. Yeah. Anyway. What the hell's going on? Okay, somebody played a pact. This is these are blue cards. You haven't seen one of these in my hand yet because there aren't very many of them. They come up, and during a political action, you can offer a pact to another player if you have one, and if they can agree or not. They accepted. So green and red have a pact. By the way, it doesn't. The pacts pretty much don't get in your way. Like if you decide, hey, I want to attack somebody, I have a pact with them. Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead and attack them. It doesn't matter. Green gets +1 to colonization, but has 1 less blue token. Red has 2 more blue tokens. Okay. So that's a couple of references to having blue or yellow tokens, and you can see that there's this little minus number here with a lightning bolt over here on the blue track. If you at the end of your turn, if you're so low on blue tokens that those are showing up, then you lose resources to what's called corruption, and it's kind of analogous to if you don't have enough happiness, you have penalties. So it's managing the flow of these tokens in the game. Is tricky. Oh, what I miss? I missed something. Oh, well, that's okay. We can come back and look at it. Let's see. Paul says the ramp is real. Enter his family into a re-education. Invade Russia? Oh, yeah. Yes, let's invade Russia. But this is so abstract, you don't know who else is who's who. Barbarians, no thank you. All right, we're back. Okay, so again, first thing when it's my turn is the political actions turn. There's one more ancient era card. Do I know what it is? No. I don't know what it is. Sometimes you do if you're the one that played it. Most of them are good, so what I'm worried about is one of the age 1 cards. But if everything goes to plan, I'm going to fix the military situation this turn. So I'm going to go ahead, if I play this Uncertain Borders, which is a good aggressive term card, where the strongest player gets a yellow card from the weakest. I'm going to go ahead and do that because it's not going to come up right away, and I should be stronger by the time it does. Okay, development of trade routes. Every civilization gets a science, a food, and a rock. See, I'm glad I did that. Oh, just rub it in. The development of religion. Yeah, your options are, if you have an idle worker, you can build a free temple. So no, I don't. So damn. Okay. So what I'm going to do this turn, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to play Frederick. I'm thinking about the order. Well, I got to resolve these things up here. They're blinking at me. Okay, do nothing. Did that. Development of civil life. Oh, this is an event card that came up on somebody else's turn, and that applies to everybody. So a lot of the event cards do that. This particular one says, on every civilization, on your turn, that's why it's coming in for me now, You can either increase your population, or build a farm, mine, or urban building, or develop a technology, and it costs one thing less depending on which one of those it was. Well, this is great because I can develop knights, and instead of costing 5 science, it only costs 4. So save 1 science there. I could also do the raise the population, but if you remember Frederick the Great, his ability is that you get to raise your population as part of that ability. So that's already incorporated in something I'm going to do later. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's great. Now I got knights, the technology. Now you see, here we go. I've developed the technology, so this thing out here is saying, here's where your knights are going to go once you have some. You know how to make knights, you just haven't actually made any yet. So I've developed technology to make knights, but I just haven't actually done it. Okay, so now play civil and military actions. Okay, this is where it's going to get real. Okay, I want to play Frederick. I'm going to play this, but I already know I'm going to back up. I'm going to play this just to see how it plays out. Is there anything else? Because the thing is, if I want to buy a technology before Aristotle goes away, because Aristotle's ability is every time you draw a technology from the card row, you gain a science. So I'm looking at iron. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I think that I can get iron and still do everything I want to do. Iron is really good. Iron is the upgrade on mines. So you go from bronze mines to iron mines. And it costs 5 to make an iron mine, but they generate 2 rocks per turn. That's nice, really important. Okay, so now that I grabbed that, I'm going to go ahead and play Frederick. So Aristotle went away, so I did get 1 science out of Aristotle. That's great. And now I am going to use his ability. It costs a military action, and it'll cost 2 food, which I have. It'll cost 1 rock, which I have, or to get a warrior. But I want a knight, so I'm going to increase my population and build knights. Boom, there happened. So that was just 1 military action, and it did that. Now, you see my strength is 3, because the knight is worth 2, the warrior's 1. Now I'm going to play the tactics. Oh, what was the name of this tactics? Medieval army. I'm going to build a medieval army. And now my strength is 5. And soon, before too long, I'll have Colossus and it'll get up to 7. But I could build... Oh man, I'm only 1 resource away from building Colossus now. That's okay. We don't need to do everything at once. In fact, I think what I really want to do is build iron before then. Okay, it's going to cost me 5 to get iron. And it'll... Okay, let's do that. I might want one of these cards. That would finish me up the turn. Do I want to do that now? I think I do. Okay, so I'm going to build iron. I'm going to research that technology. So my science dropped. Here, let me back up so you see. Right now I have 6 science. So this costs 5 science. You can see the 5. So you can see my science now dropped down to 1. And I am going to... Now, it costs... Now here they stacked. So the iron mines are a progression from bronze mines. And so it's putting the 2 cards in a column so you can see how they progress. And you see that my population, even though I built iron mine technology, even though I know now how to make iron mines, I don't have any iron mines because all my population is still back working on the bronze mines. Now, it costs 5 to build an iron mine. But if you're upgrading one of these guys, it's the difference between the 2. So I can slide this guy up to here, and you see I have 3. Well, you can also look at it here. These 3 cubes on here mean that I have 3 rocks. Well, the difference between 5 and 2 is 3. So if I slide that up to there, bam. Now I have an iron mine and 2 bronze mines, and my production has gone up to 4. And see, that's how this 2 lights on down to bronze, 1 light on over the iron mines. And if I'm happy with that, I am done. I think I am. These yellow cards are really nice. You could make an argument that maybe what I should have done is, oh wow, maybe do I really want to? I could get a discount on an iron mine, pay 2 less. If instead of doing this now, do it next turn. And do I have the next turn? I really would like to build this as well. Okay, so if I take rich land, and if I go ahead and build 1 stage of the Colossus with engineering genius, I get discounted 2. So it's saying, what do you want to do here? Do you want to build a stage using engineering genius, which will cost me 1 rock, or do I want to build it and pay 3? I might as well use the engineering genius, get it out of my hand. By the way, you're capped as to how many cards you can have in your hand based on your form of government. So like the fact that I have the capability of 4 civil actions, that's also the limit of how many of these cards I can have in my hand at the end of a turn. So, or at any time in the turn, I'm not sure. Anyway. Okay, so this scenario, I'm going to be able to finish the Colossus next turn and build it. I think this puts me in a better. I'm not sure I could have gotten to this. Maybe I would have gotten to the same position. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure it matters. But I'm going to do it that way so that I get the discount. I think that just sounds like it's got to be better, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Simeon writes, are there any random global events unrelated to player cards, like the Black Plague, Dinosaur Meteor Strike, yeah, Noah's Flood? They're not. Yes and no. So these event cards that I'm playing, I'm not really instigating these events. I'm sort of by playing these cards, I'm causing world events to happen. And some of those cards are things like, you mentioned Black Plague. There's Pestilence is one of the cards that could come up. And so Pestilence comes up. I didn't cause the Pestilence if I played it, but everybody gets affected. So there are world events like that come up. Oh, hey, my Uncertain Borders came up. And, let's see, blue has a strength the same as mine. That kind of went by fast. I'm not sure if I got the benefit of that or not. We'll find out. I'll be able to go back in and look at the log here in a minute. You did. Oh, good. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks for pointing it out. Okay, here we have our first example of colonization. Okay, so this pops up and it's saying, oh, strategic territory. By the way, I think I put that in there. This strategic territory, now there's a colonization exercise here where whoever wins will get this card, which is worth 2 points for as long as you hold that colony, because you can lose them, and you get 3 extra cards from the military deck, which is nice. The thing is that you have to send troops, of course, to go colonize, and the troops you send don't come back. I mean, that's a loss. So and you have to send at least 1 guy. So first of all, I could pass. I can not participate at all, right? Or if I want to participate, I can just say, I'm just going to send 1 guy in there, and that means I'm bidding effectively with a strength of 1. Now, you might remember that card that I had earlier that would give you +2 to strength if you were attacked with an aggression. That same card had a little 1 there with a sail. That would add a point. If I used that card, that would give me another point. Also, you might recall that the Colossus, when it gets built, has a little 1 here by a sail. That would add 1 to all my colonization efforts from here on out. So 1 is probably not going to be a successful bid. Now also blue has a +2, so if blue puts in even one warrior is going to be worth 3. I probably should do... The other thing is that what's going to happen here with my strength is going to plummet immediately if I send anybody there, because I'm going to lose the strength of the guy I send plus the bonus I'm getting from tactics. But one trick on colonizations, the time you want to do it is if it comes up in the player right before you. So this comes up in red. After the colonization, if I participate and if I win, then I'm going to be super, super weak. But it's my turn next, so I could recover from that. If this came up during blue's turn, and I participated and won the colony, woohoo! But now I'm super weak during green and red's turn. And that's not good, especially now that we're getting into Era 1. So the question is, do I have enough resources that I could replace somebody I sent on the colony and build the Colossus and build some mines? My head hurts to do that math. I don't, but my instincts are it's kind of a dangerous move. And if I do have money, resources left over to build a military guy, I wouldn't mind having 2 knights. Or 2 knights and 2 warriors and get the tactics benefit twice. So I am going to pass. Okay, so blue won the colony with a bid of more than 2. We don't know how much she bid. Green bid 2. I didn't bid at all. Red bid 1. And so she has to pay the 2 plus. I think she has to pay the minimum. She might have gone like 6 or something like that. Make sure she get it. But anyway, so she's discarding 1 warrior because she has a bonus of 2 from her leader or whatever. So anyway, so she got the unit card. Okay, fine. I kind of tell you I don't tend to go for colonies very much because I don't know. It can be, I mean, one tactic, if I decide I really want to go for colonies in the game, there's a leader called Cook, Captain Cook, who gives you benefits if you take that strategy. Once in a while, I'll do that. In which case, I always try and have like an extra warrior hanging out. I also didn't have any cards to help me out and stuff like that, so I just wasn't in a good position to take advantage of it. Okay, so Salgado. Salgado. Yeah. So you're saying colonies feel like such a risk. They are. So I'm guessing you're a Through the Ages player. So if you got any advice, feel free to weigh in. I'm teaching this game, but I'm happy to be taught at the same time. Okay, new turn. I would skip politics. I don't have any cards I can play. I just have these tactics cards. So we'll skip politics. Now we're going to try to do all the things that we talked about. First of all, let's finish the Colossus. Now my strength is 7. Okay. Blue is at 5. Blue is competing with me on... Blue also subscribes to the philosophy of don't be last. Okay, there's a whole bunch of yellow cards. I love the yellow cards, and I always think I should take more yellow cards because they don't seem like they're really good, but they are really good. But it always seems to be something more important. But this time there's not a lot of really important stuff. I don't care for theocracy. By the way, here's a government. This is so I could go from being a despot to a theocratist. Anyway, that's that. But it doesn't increase the number of civil actions you get. You're still at 4. It increases the number of military actions by 1. That's good. And it gives you a culture every turn. I mean, at some point, I need to start worrying about culture, right? Because it's whoever has the most culture wins the game. It's more fun to have a strong military, to be honest. It gives you a happiness. It gives you a strength. I don't know. I rarely take. There is a leader that fits well with is Joan of Arc, I think. And there's a combo there. Like if I happen to see Theocracy and Joan of Arc, and they're both cheap and they're both by each other, and I don't have an age 1 leader or an age 1 government. I mean, if a lot of things have to line up, then I'll say, okay, yeah, I'll take both of those. But otherwise, I don't. Yeah, Theocrat. Thank you. Paul saying attack blue. Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't have any cards to attack her with right now. But see, here's the thing. Here's why you don't want to be last. If I had an aggression card, would I go after blue? I'm only 2 points stronger than blue, and she's gonna no. I go after green. Green only has a strength of 1, so the game, I mean that's where you're gonna win. Is going after the weak. So that's why you don't want to be last in military, because everybody else is gonna go through that same calculation, and you're gonna get bumped. Okay, there are a couple of nice cards up here. I don't want Theocracy. I already have an H1 leader. I already had Knights. Yellow cards are nice. I love both of these technologies. Alchemy is an increase in science, so it's the one that would stack here with what are called labs. So I could upgrade labs to, let's see, to alchemy shops, I guess. So that each population I have assigned there would generate 2 science instead of 1. That's really nice. Science is really important. But first things first. Well, second things. We already got the Colossus belt. Yeah, if I do that, I can't get alchemy. That's okay. I really want to build production. Okay, so I'm going to go up by 1 with this. I'm going to upgrade it using my rich land. And then I think I'm just going to grab another rich land. I love it when I actually take a yellow card, because I feel like I should take more yellow cards. So when I do take one, I feel good about myself, as long as I have a strong army. Okay, look at my army is 7, and I've got a colonization bonus. So is green now. Okay, whatever. All right, I'm done. Oh wait, that's right. Okay, so Barbarossa's ability to recruit troops is a military action. So even though I'm out of civil actions, I can use one of those. And if it's letting me do that, I can get a warrior. Is there any reason I wouldn't want to do that? I'm kind of surprised it's letting me do that. And I guess, yeah. Okay, I'm going to take the warrior. That increases my strength to 8. And it puts me 1 Barbarossa move from having another knight. Oh, yeah. I'm going to win this game. I'm going to have fun. You can win, even though militaries don't give you culture. In the late game, if cards go right, you could steal a lot of culture from other players. So, okay, so here we have an example of an aggression. We're not involved. Blue is aggressing against green. What'd I say? Don't be last in military. There it is. Green. See, this is what happens. So she did a raid. She won. Destroy one of your rivals' Age A or Age 1 urban buildings. Those are the ones on the right side of the screen. And you gain rocks equal to half of its cost rounded up. Okay, so looks like, what is that? I don't remember what that is. I think that's a culture building of some sort. I don't know the culture buildings very well. So, and she took Theocracy. And she developed it. Increasing her population. Okay, let's click through here a little faster. She's building labs. Oh my gosh, she's got a lot of Age 1 labs. Oh, green. See, there's the building. Yeah, it was drama, I think. Okay, border conflict. What? Blue is at 9 strength. Oh my gosh, she's giving me a run for her money. Okay, so here, the strongest civilization gains 3 from the weakest. I would have loved for me to have been the strongest and gotten that, but I wasn't. Blue passed me up. Okay. Well, there you go. And green just rebuilt, I think that is drama, is it? Libraries. Oh, okay. Libraries, right. Pestilence. All right, Simeon, there you go. You asked about the Black Plague. There it is. All civilizations lose a population. Yeah. I'm going to have to make a tough decision here in a minute. It's my turn. Oh, Genghis Khan's in this game. That's the one. That's the other great warmongering leader from Age 1. Well, I already got Frederick, so that's okay. Okay, so I've got to lose a population. Am I doing that now? Let's see. Oh, it wants me to do my political phase first. What's going on here? On your turn. At the end of my politics phase. Okay, so I got to do a politics phase first. This is, I do have a pact I can play. This pact lets me say both civilizations have an extra military action. That would be the two civilizations that agree to this pact. So if I offer this pact to another player, we would both have an extra military action, which is great. If one of us attacks the other, the attacking civilization adds +2 to its strength. So I do not want to give this to blue. But I think it'd be awesome if green or red had this. I would love to have this pact with green or red. Let us cancel. Hold on. Let's hold off. I'm going to see which one has... Okay, red has a lot more of these cards, but no military technologies. Green has no military technologies. Neither one of them understand this rule about don't be last in the military. Okay, either one of them. Okay, so I'm gonna let's see which one has the most culture. I guess I'm gonna try and assess which one is strongest. This little button here, right below me, pops out a screen that shows you summaries of each of the civs. So I'm looking at the pluses. I'm not so worried about current. So green is generating 3 culture a turn, and culture is how you win at the end, right? And 4 science, 5 rocks. Green is clearly in a stronger position because they have the philosophy, don't worry about being last in military, so they're investing in everything else. I don't know, maybe there's something to that. Anyway, so punish blue. I know you guys really... Blue's turn will come. I will punish blue, but I got to do it when I'm stronger, not when I'm weaker, and I got to be stronger by a margin. But thanks, Paul. Okay, I think green is a little stronger, so I'm going to give. Go back to me. I'm going to give open borders to green, and my goal, of course, is that I will attack green at some point and get a +2. Okay, here is me needing to lose one of my guys here. I can't lose the happiness. I don't want to lose science. I think I'm going to lose one of these rocks. I don't want to lose food, and I really want to build another. I don't want to have to build 2 more. Oh, is that more? No, I don't have enough food. Okay, I am going to lose one of these rocks. That's from the pestilence. Thanks for bringing it up, Simeon. Okay, now it's my normal turn. Let's do this and build knights. Bam. Strength 12. I gotta say, these strength numbers are a little high for age 1. This is kind of fun. Okay, I probably want to do I have enough to do this? Upgrade age A to age 1 mine. Okay, so I don't have much population here, but at least they're both on mines. Well, at least they're both in iron mines. So iron production is 4. I usually like to have 3, ultimately 4 population assigned to production. Okay, now we're back to lots of good options, and can't do them all. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm looking at. Always looking at the yellow cards. Alchemy is good. Give my science kick. I suppose some people will look at drama. It's good for culture. I guess that's good because it's how you win, but it's not very fun. St. Pete's Basilica. This is a great wonder. This wonder... each other card or worker that gives you at least 1 happy face now gives you an extra happy face. So what this means is I don't got to worry about religion for the rest of the game if I build St. Pete's. But I'd love to be a monarch. There's monarchy here too. Monarchy versus St. Pete's and alchemy. I think what I want to do is I wish there was irrigation or something. Any advice? Salgado? No advice. All right. I think I'm going to hold off on. I think I'm going to take St. Pete's. That uses all my other civil actions. The alternative is leave one of the mines down here. You go with the name. Simeon thanks. Peter versus the machine, and I got St. Pete's. Okay. I guess so yeah, I agree. I'm going to take St. Pete's. The thing I'm thinking about now is, let's just back up earlier in the turn. I could take St. Pete's and use, and instead of building a mine, grab alchemy. But okay, so let's see. You don't want to fall back on science production too much, but there are 2 more alchemies coming up. Are there? You're probably right. So you do know this game. You knew that. See, I'm not even looking in the right pile. Oh yeah. By the way, it shows 3 here because the ones that are faded out are ones that have already been drawn, but the one that's on the track hasn't been drawn. So yeah, you're right. There's 3 more. Thank you. That's a good tip. Think about what cards haven't shown up. Also, we're kind of past the midpoint of Age 1. So, you can leapfrog technologies here. There's when I first started playing this, during Age 1, my goal was to get the technology, the Age 1 technologies in all, at least in these 3, in food, mines, and science. But you don't have to have the next age to get the one after that. And so you can leapfrog these technologies. So it's a question, as you get closer into one age, you think like, well, do I want alchemy? Because I know the one after that is going to be showing up soon. But I think you've got a good point. We're gonna use that and rely on the alchemies. Oh, they're right there. I was looking in the stack. Yeah, they're right there. Okay. Okay. Anyway, there are more alchemies coming up, and I will probably get one. And I think that's it. That's all I'm going to do for now. All right. There we go. Stuff's happening. Blue did another aggression, this time on red. I did set blue to be a higher AI than green and red. That's really becoming clear in this particular game. Okay, green's got lots of mines. And here goes red. Red's. See, both of these have a lot of technologies over there. That's a mistake it's tempting to grab all the cool technologies, but you can fill up your hands with technologies that you just don't end up having the time to build. So this is the first time I ever live streamed playing a game, by the way, and I'm learning something, which is that, well, you're streaming, so you got to talk a lot, right? And so I'm saying all the stupid stuff that goes through my head. And now it's recorded for posterity. Okay, cool. Okay, this is my next turn. Okay, I'm going to take a bio break, which gives me a chance to test my OBS skills here. So I'm going to cut to be right back. Be right back video, right? I think that's a loop. Let's try it. All right. Hey, that worked. Yeah. All right. Uh, thanks, Steve Connor. If you're watching, that's a great cinematic. Oh, the machine's been plotting against me. Oh my gosh. Blue has been plotting. All right. It is back to my turn. Okay, so the first thing is political actions. I could do another pact, trade route agreements, but hey, I think I want to get this reign of terror. That sounds like me, right? So what does it do? Weakest population. The weakest civ loses the population. I hope I'm strongest, but again, just don't be weakest. Okay, I'm going to blue that and see what comes up. See, another one will cycle out. Call to arms. The weakest civilization must immediately spend 2 civil actions to draw 2 military cards. Second one, spend 1. Okay, that doesn't sound so bad for them, but what it does is it limits. They get some cards, but it's at a cost of civil actions in their next turn. So that's not sure if that's a good card or a bad card for them. But since the decision's forced, I think that's bad. Okay, so my hey, yeah, Salgado, you predicted that there would be more alchemies coming along, and you are right. Well, I think it's pretty clear we want to grab one of those, and maybe monarchy. Huh. Maybe we will get the things we wanted after all. Okay, I got a bit of a food problem here. You see that I can't bring another population out. So this is one of the really crux fundamental things that you have to think about in playing through the ages is the manipulation of these tokens and how they've how they move around on the board. So getting a yellow token to here costs 3 food. I've only got 1 food and I'm only producing 1 food. So it's a really slow rate for that I'm at right now in terms of being able to bring more people out. Now the Frederick bonus has helped accelerate that a bit, but it's still, I probably couldn't use Frederick again now. Yeah, because building a warrior with I get a discount on building that idle worker to go into the military, but even with that discount, I don't have enough food because it's a discount of 1 and I need 3. So that is not going to get fixed until I get a faster and improvement like irrigation. That's the farm technology card. I might get that later. If nobody else takes it, but other people are probably having the same issue. Blue has the same issue. Green has a lot of food, doesn't have the technology. Red's already got irrigation, so who knows? Anyway, these are also really good. I think I'm not gonna spend the three actions to grab. Also, when I do get another population, I really want to have more mines. The downside of having this big military is I've got a lot of people out, going to war. It's a lot of fun, but I need more people back home working the mines. So I gotta watch for that. I'm gonna just deal with the restricted number of resources we have for a little while. St. Pete's is gonna cost 8. I've got, because one thing I do if I build. Yeah, anyway, never mind. I just had a bad thought. This time I caught myself before I said it. Okay, so if I've got 5 now, 4 more, that's 9 minus 8. If I don't spend too much this turn, I could get St. Pete's next turn. But, like Salgado said, science is really important too. Let's see. We are back. Let's see, Armando. Video cinematics from Steve, yes. Heart, I got it. I think that if I want to get monarchy, and I think I better just invest in some science here. Now next turn I'll have 6 science, not quite enough to get monarchy, and I'm not going to get St. Pete's either, but it's probably good to get my science a little higher. That takes care of... Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get... let's see, if I don't do that, if I don't play alchemy, next turn I could play monarchy. So that's the trade-off. Monarchy, by the way, here's why I like monarchy better than fundamentalism. It doesn't give me those extra little bonuses like extra happiness and stuff like that, but it gives you 5 civil actions. So the number of civil actions that have every turn goes up by 1, and the number of military actions, which is how many military cards you get, up to the limit of 3, goes up by 1 as well. So maybe I will hold off on the alchemy and wait and play monarchy next turn. I don't know. Boy, it's hard to know. Warfare is also nice, but I've got 2 techs and not enough science to play both of them. It's not. I don't think in that situation it's smart to go. It's very smart to go out and grab another one. Let's see. But if I don't improve science now, to get both of these in play, it's going to cost 12, 7, 9, 11. It's just going to be really slow to get there. I think I want to get the alchemy going. Yeah, I think I just want to get my science. So my science production just increased by 50%. Went from +2 to +3. That does mean I'm not going to be able to build St. Pete's next turn, but that's okay. I'm in a nice strong position on strength. And I'm already at 3 military actions. It must be from, where did I get it from Frederick? What's giving me 3 military actions? Is it this pact? Yeah, we each have an extra military action. Okay, that's nice. I'm glad I did the pact. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do this turn. All right. This goes to production. There's my new cards. A couple of new cards that could help with that. Okay. Oh, I'll come back to that. Aggression. Blue went against green. Blue's drawing more aggression cards than I am. I'm jealous. Oh, Christopher Columbus. I think that's the leader I was thinking of earlier. Christopher Columbus is fun. If you've got a really nice colony in your hand, I think Columbus's ability is to immediately take a colony without having to pay for it. Okay, Reign of Terror. I think I played that. Green lost a worker. And it's building Machu Picchu. All right, we're back to me. How did I get so many cards? I remember I saw a bunch of cards flying in for... Somebody must have done something. I'm going to review what happened this turn. Blue did an aggression, got some stuff. Oh, okay. So this is the thing that flew by. I didn't get a chance to comment on. We are now in age 2. So you see over here the decks were replaced. If there was anything left in either of those decks, there wouldn't have been anything left in the bronze, the technology deck, because that's how the age ends. Age 1 ends when you run out of those cards, and so you see on this track we went from 1 to 2 when the age 1 technology deck ran out. We started filling with age 2 cards. So there are age 2 cards up here now. Some of them are really good, like the strategy one. Okay, so because of Colossus, I get an extra 3 military cards when you go to a new age. So that's how I end up with so many cards here. Okay, I was wondering how the hell that happened. Okay, so do I have a terrorism? No. The civilization with the least culture... Oh, maybe I do want this. On your turn, destroy 1 urban building of each other civilization. I might be the most uncultured... I mean, I am a despot. Let's see. I've got 9 culture. Red has 38. 19. I am the person with the least culture. So we are going to work a little bit on culture at some point. Um, yeah, I think I want to. The other thing is to put in a trade routes pact with somebody. That seems nice, but I don't know. Terrorism. When you're got the lowest culture, terrorism's a great card. Okay, that triggered a new event. Scientific breakthrough. Thank goodness. Every civilization gets science equal to the amount of science it produces. Hey, glad I played the alchemy last turn. So I got 3. Look, everybody's got more science production than I do. That's not good. I'm not sure I'm winning this game. Okay, so great. Now I'm up to 9 science. I can play monarchy. Okay, I am to my civil and military actions. Okay, the nice thing about the monarchy is that let me show you something first of all. To play monarchy, you notice that there are 2 costs, 8 or 2. I can pay 8 science or I can pay 2 science. That is basically was it a peaceful transition to power, or seize power at all costs, through violence or treachery. So I almost always do the full cost thing, and maybe I should think about the others. But if you change the government through revolution, it uses all of your civil actions. Like, you're done. And I think you have to have all of your civil actions available, in other words. So that's the only thing you do that turn. Or you can develop peacefully, and it just costs you 1 civil action, which actually nets out to not costing anything in this case, because the new form of government, I gain a civil action. I have 5 instead of 4. So I'm still down 1 civil action, but from a higher base. All right, so now we got. By the way, I'm really happy to get monarchy. Monarchy is a good, solid government in age 1. It's age 2. There's going to be constitutional monarchy, which seems like a natural, follow on from monarchy, which we may get. Okay, this is. I've got 6. I think I'm going to grab irrigation. We talked about the food problems I've got, and I was hoping this would stick around. Now I'm thinking maybe I should wait on monarchy and get irrigation out and working for me. What else is up here that I really want? I really like strategy. It's +3 strength and +2 military actions. Nice. Maybe that'll still be around. Okay, I'm going to back up. And okay, I've reset to the beginning of my this part of the turn. I'm going to take irrigation. I'm going to play it and upgrade. Now, so I went from food production of. Here's a little nuance here. If you're looking at the math here, it's not quite adding up. I'll show you why. So now I've got 1 population on agriculture, 1 on irrigation. So 1 and 2 is how much food is producing, right? Well, it says up here I'm only producing 2 food. There's what's called consumption. So as your yellow tokens come out of this pool that you have, think of these pools as sort of the potential of your civilization. Like, my civilization has a potential of this much population and this much resources. It's kind of, I don't know, I don't think it's a great analogy, but it's the best one I can come up with. But as these yellow tokens get used, it reveals as these boxes get cleared away, the consumption will go up. So this is just an offset from your food production. This is just food production you lose. Okay, so that's why it's +2 instead of +3. But +2 is twice what +1 was. So now there's a temptation to build both these farms. Just changing one of these will help a lot. So maybe I'll do the other one too, but I'm not going to just yet. Okay, next turn I'll have enough science to build monarchy. And I think I'm going to grab reserves. It's just going to be extra, 2 extra rocks or 2 extra food that I can use next turn. So thinking ahead, I will have 8 rocks, and St. Pete's costs 8. I will have 4 food. I'll be able to build, I think I can put into place monarchy and build St. Pete's next turn. And if I'm really lucky, no one will take strategy. It's probably too expensive for blue, and green and red aren't smart enough to realize how important it is. By the way, let me explain a little bit about how these cards, as you take cards off of this track, they don't replace immediately. What happens at the end of my turn, at the end of each player's turn, the track refills. Everything slides down towards the left. Also, though, and you probably figured that out already. Also, though, see the little red X in the first card? If there's anything in this slot, it goes away before things slide. So that accelerates the sliding down. And if you have fewer than 4 players, then if you have 3 players, the 2 leftmost slots will go away automatically. If you have, it's in 3 players, 2 players, 3 leftmost slots. If there's anything in those spots, they go away, and then everything slides down. So that will speed up the play with fewer players. All right. I think I'm done with this. I don't know. I have this feeling I'm missing something. Let me just, when I have that feeling, I just look at this again. I took irrigation, built, upgraded a farm to irrigation. I took irrigation, developed, upgraded farm. That seems like a solid turn. Okay, I'm good. Oh, I can still use Barbarossa's ability. Oh, wait. Yes, oh, wait. I'll take the oh, wait action. Okay. If I do that, will I have enough? It's very tempting, isn't it? Let's see what, if I take this, if I build knights, I think we did the math earlier and realized that I had enough for St. Pete's without this. Okay, so I've got 4 plus 4 is 8, which is what it's going to take to build St. Pete's. The reserves gets me to 10. So if I lose, I think I can do this. The question is, should I? I mean, well, what's going to happen is that it's going to take this yellow token out of here, which is going to slow down my food production again, because it's going to increase consumption. But, I can always build more farms. Yeah, I think I want to go ahead and do that. You found that funny, Paul? I mean, I'm clearly committed to a warmonger strategy at this point. I mean, this is bad. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Okay, see the little unhappiness? This is a red unhappiness. A discontent worker or 2 is not so bad, but this is like rioting. This is like nothing produces. Like if I hit in my turn right now, nothing would happen. I wouldn't produce anything. So this is not like, oh, do you want to tolerate this? Like the discontent workers? No, you just don't want to do that. So no, we are not, unfortunately, we are not going to do that. Yeah. All right. So in the turn, it's so hard to pass that up. Okay. I have to discard 5 cards down to 3. It's easier to just think about which ones do I want to keep. Okay, I don't think I want any of these tactics cards. This one is an okay age 2 tactics. It's 2 cavalry, give you 2 plus 2. Age is added to 2. So in age 2, that's 4. Oh. Versus, actually, I think I might want this. Let's back up a second. I'm going to just throw this out and see what happens to my strength if I change to this tactic. Strength went down by 1. If these guys, if I moved all these warriors over to knights, my strength would go up. But that's a big investment. I gotta just dismantle and rebuild. But it's possible. It's possible I want to do that. So I'm gonna get rid of these though. Definitely. Whoops. I think I just played it. Okay. First of all, end my turn. There we go. No, I'm not using. Okay, now I'm in the discard phase. Okay, well, let's get rid of all these other tactics. I definitely don't want any of them. I get to keep 3. I'm going to use this. I'm going to keep this tactic. I think I definitely want to keep this Age 2. I forget what they call these cards, but they're adds to defense and aggressions or help you colonizing. I'm going to keep keep that one because it's stronger than the other ones. So my other card, so I'm keeping 1, 2. The other card I'm going to keep is either going to be one of these cards or this trade routes card. I think I get rid of the trade routes card. Salgado, you still with me? Any advice? Going once? Okay, we're going to leave it at that. All right. Okay, there's all my production. Here coming the new cards. Lots of bonus. Oh, blue is aggressing against red. Dang it, man. I'm jealous. She's getting all these good aggression cards, and she is destroying green and red. Although I bet they both have more culture than we do. We'll see. Is she managing to produce good culture at the same time? She's kicking everybody's butt? Probably. All right. Paul play Talisman next season, and you'll have plenty of advice. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would need it. All civilizations most happiness gain population. Red has certainly not me. Oh, red took strategy. Well, I'm glad that it wasn't blue. That's all I got to say. And there's a better food technology. The Age 2 food technology, selective breeding. I do have to start thinking about who my next leader is going to be. I'm really going to miss Frederick. I'll probably keep Frederick up to the very end of Age 2, and then right before Age 3 happens, flip him to something else, unless I just get a Age 2 leader that just can't deal without. Okay, politics. I still have no aggressions. Prosperity. This is each civilization gains 1 food for each of its happy faces. Okay. Doesn't seem like a great choice for me, except that remember St. Pete's is all about bonus happiness, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take this. Play it. That reveals new deposits. Everybody gets a bunch of rocks. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Okay. Now, I know what I want to do. I want to bring in monarchy, and I want to build St. Pete's. Let's go ahead and do that. Develop a new government peacefully. And I can just build this straight up with that. The 8 rocks. Now I have St. Pete's. So look, I went from 1 happiness to 3. Because St. Pete's gives you 1 happiness to begin with, all by itself. And then every other happiness I got, which is 1 from religion, is another 1. So happiness situation suddenly just really improved. Nice. Which means that Frederick, I am calling you up. We need your services. Let's build a knight. Can I use it more than once? Apparently not, or I just don't have enough. Oh. If I do reserves for rocks, can I use Frederick's ability 1 more time? No, it's a shortage of food. Let's see. What am I missing here? Frederick's ability for 1 military action, increase your population and build a new military unit. This costs 1 less rock and 1 less food. Okay, so warriors. I should be able to build that. Oh, here's the problem. As these yellow tokens start to go away, the cost to bring a new one up into the idle worker space goes up. Right now we're up to 4 because I have so many of my yellow tokens deployed. I only have 2, so it costs, even with a discounted one, it costs 3, so I can't afford it. I'm gonna do a little thought experiment here and run. Okay, let's try something. I'm gonna now. I've been building things, moving population to technologies. You can also bring them back. So I can disband a warrior. What does that do? It took one of the populations I had out here on the warriors and it brought it back to here. Now I can move this over here to where all the cavalry is, and then bring in hussars. I think it's the name of the tactic. Now my strength's 17. Not bad. Gotta say, it's not bad. I am out of actions, which means I'm not going to get any more military actions, which means I'm not going to get any more of these cards. But strength 17. That's pretty fun. Yeah. I'm going to ignore all my other options that I should be maybe considering and just be really excited. Okay, let's see. Sogata. My only tip is stop letting blue draw all the aggression cards. And by the way, this reveals the weakness of the warmongering strategy in Through the Ages. I love the warmongering strategy. It's just my old wargamer. You know, I started playing war games with my dad back in the 70s, and it's just something that's part of my history and my gaming pedigree, if you will. And so, but in Through the Ages, you can implement a warmongering strategy perfectly, but if you don't get the aggression cards or the war cards, if they don't come up, you have no way to use your military like we see blue using her military. So, but hey, let's go on, see what happens. I could colonize the heck out of something, though. Rats. There you go, Simeon. Rats. Each civilization loses all stored food. Yeah, there you go. Is that what you're looking for? Okay, blue took selective breeding. Of course she did. And what else is going on? Okay, let's. Pro tip: be blue player next turn. Well, you see, the constellation is, so at my house, I play yellow, D plays blue. So that's why I made blue. So I feel like, okay, if I lose to blue, I'm losing to D. No, it's, all right, let's see. They got a pact going, whatever. Okay, and so, by the way, you can tell, you see the numbers by the piles of cards. That gives you a hint as to how much left. We just started Age 2. And the 37 cards in that pile, we got to go through all the cards. It kind of tells you, but each of the ages will move a little bit faster as we have more actions. We will draw more cards out of this, out of the top as we go on. Oh, now we're seeing our first war. So I would like to get one of these cards too. Remember, I said that aggressions were one way of going after another player. War is a harder punch. And it's a gray card, that's what it looks like. When you play a war card, though, they have a turn to prepare. That's the difference. Aggression, you can pair your strings right now. If you have enough, bam, you get the thing. But they can use cards to increase their strength. War, they can't use those cards, but they have a turn to prepare. And they tend to be a little bit nastier. In this one, red has declared war against green. By the way, that's a bold move because green will have a turn to prepare and red won't. Red gets this turn to prepare. Well, she may have a plan for building a huge army this turn. Her turn is still in front of her, so we'll see what happens. But she better, because otherwise, you want to start a war. You want to make sure that your opponent that you're declaring war against doesn't have a good chance of catching up with you in military that turn. So let's see what happens. Let's see what she does. She took William Shakespeare as a leader. Okay, I mean, okay, not exactly a build up your military sort of move. And now Red is have to switch pronouns. So now Red is William Shakespeare instead of whoever the woman was that was leading Red before. All right, so oh my God, okay, I can't wait to see what happens. Green has no military technologies. Has some science, and cannons are showing up. So and riflemen are coming. I think Red is going to be embarrassed. Okay, politics phase. All I got is these stupid strengths. I mean, they're good cards to have, but not a handful of them. I got no aggressions and no wars, so no. See. Okay, I bet my wonder. We should at some point be looking at a new leader, but I don't think Isaac Newton is going to be your best lab or library produces an additional amount of science equal to its level. Oh, which is probably going to be a 1 or a 2 too soon. Every time you go to technology, you get a civil action back. Isaac's not bad. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Isaac. Oh, you know what I should do is I should look and see. Unless Napoleon is... Oh, Napoleon's in the game. No, I'm not taking Isaac Newton. I'm going to hold out for Napoleon. Yeah, I will spend 3 civil actions to get Napoleon off the technology track if he shows up. Trust me on that. Oh boy, I hope I get Napoleon and start drawing wars. Okay. I don't... For an H2 government... Republic, I don't really like Republic as an H2 government. It's... my civil actions will go from 6 to 7, but my military actions will actually drop by 1. It's good if you're not a warmonger, but for me, let's see, the pen is mightier than the sword. Yeah, that might end up being true. Hun. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Okay. No, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't mind getting cannons. Just I oftentimes don't use cannon because the way the tactics work out, sometimes cannons, often it doesn't end up being, of the 3, if you had a choice like, oh, I want cannons or riflemen or cavalry, cannons would be the 3rd choice. But if it's sitting there, nothing wrong with having it. I do want to increase my agriculture output a little bit. 2 is good. I'm seeing scientific method there. I do really want to get more. I think I want the cannon, but also looking up here at rifleman. I really like rifleman. Rifleman's really good. You can just ride hussars well into H3. I like Revolutionary Ideas, a really good one. It gives you a bunch of science. It's good for a quick grab. I think I want to do a little bit of investment in infrastructure here. I just was saying grab cannons, but I really would like to... Where's Salgado? Any advice? Salgado, I think, signed off. Scientific method looks really good. Rifleman looks really good. Either one of those might survive, might still be here when we come back around. What did I just take? Upgraded a lab. Okay, I think that I am going to take cannons, and I'm going to take breakthrough. What this does is it gives you you develop a technology and then get 3 science back. So we've got a lot of expensive things we're going to want to build. Hold on, French laughing for Napoleon. Oh, I see. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do. I do actually have an interesting. So, you might have noticed, well, I could disband this warrior. It wouldn't hurt my strength much because I'm doing a cavalry tactic. I love having one extra warrior, one beyond whatever my tactics require, because I can make a strong colonization move with one warrior and all of these guys. If a juicy colony comes up, and the good colonies tend to come up in the Second Age, I'm in a good position to grab a colony this round, especially if I leave this guy here so that I can send him to a colony without hurting my strength too much. All right. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what the wars. Oh, cavalry and cannons. Did I take cannons? I took cannons. Oh my god, that might have turned out really good. Okay. Blue is another aggression. Okay, so remember how I mentioned that the defender of an aggression can spin these cards to increase their strength against the aggression, and that every card counts as 1, and these cards counts as 2 and 4. So even though blue has a strength of 9 compared to green's strength of 1, green had enough cards to defend, to get its. So by adding 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, by adding 8 points, green went from 1 to 9, and the aggression failed. See, so aggressions, aggressions are not a sure thing. And that, good job, green, for defending against that. Okay, blue's building the Eiffel Tower. Racking up culture points like crazy. I still have not done anything about culture. I am starting to think about culture, though. Well, historic territory. This is interesting. It's not the greatest colony. There's others that I would love to have instead. But what's nice about it is that the happiness points, that's going to be 2 happiness points for me, I think. I got to look at the way, is that true? The way St. Pete's work, each other card or worker. So this would be a card, a colony. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to bid on it. I'm going to slide this up, and I got a lot more of these other cards. Let's get rid of this one for sure. I'll just bid. However much you bid, whoever bids the most is going to win, but then how much they have to pay is just however much it took. So you can, you really want it. Let's see. I could just throw all these in there and be guaranteed of getting it, but I won't have to pay more than one more than whoever bid the most, I think. I think that's the way it's worked. I hope I'm not just throwing away all of those cards right now. We'll find out. What? Everyone passed. Okay, I butterfingered something. I meant to bid on that and I didn't. Oh well. That's the joys of streaming while you're gaming. Just there it is, right again. I think I just hit the wrong button there and passed on it instead of went for it. Oh well. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, so we're coming up to the war here soon. Oh, green has as much strength as red now. Oh, I wish he had more. That would have been funny. Okay, so the war is just going to be nothing happens because they're matched. If green would have gotten more, then he would have got the advantage of the war, which is in this case war over territory. War over territory is stimulated by taking yellow tokens from the other player. That's where the analogy of the token banks being like the potential of your empire actually works there. Okay, so nothing happened. Not nearly as exciting as a real war. I'm keeping Marcus entertained. Is there a mulligan rule allow you to go back and fix your mistake? No, Simeon, there is not. during your turn, as long as you're not revealing information you didn't have during the course of your turn, you can back up. Like I think you've seen me do a couple times. But like in that situation where, like a lot of games, games aren't always really big on undo. Yeah, real boring. Yeah, real wars can be pretty boring. Yeah. Except for the people in them, I suppose. Okay, skip politics. Do I want to play this card? The two strongest civilizations score 6. Yeah, sure. Why not help out Blue and myself? Okay, good harvest. Everybody produces a bunch of food. Okay, that's convenient. Okay, so now let's explain this card. This is a tactic where for every cavalry and cannon matched together, increase 5. But you notice there's two numbers, a 5 and a 3. This is a rule that takes into account outdated equipment. So this is an age 2 tactic, which means that for the cavalry and the cannons to really fully apply, they have to be within one age. They have to either be age 1 or 2. Or do they have to be both age 2? No, I think they might have to both be age 2 because there is no age 0 ancient era cannons or cavalry. Well, so I could theoretically increase my strength significantly if age 1 counts, and if I get the cannon up there and move guys from cavalry to cannon. I still have Frederick. I want to make sure. Did we miss Napoleon? No, he's still coming. We've still got, we're like about halfway through the second age now. Okay, well I don't think I'm going to do that right now. What other technologies are up here? Organized religion is not that interesting. Justice system is nice. I do have a little bit of extra. I don't have a lot of pressure on my science this turn, but I know that that's going to change. Justice, we haven't talked about these types of cards. These are called civic cards, I think. It's a special technology. They'll show up down here in the bottom right, right underneath my picture, I think, eventually. So maybe I better not take any. What this card does is it's like a wonder, but you don't have to pay anything. You just pay the science, you have it, and it's an ongoing positive effect. So it's pretty nice. This one gives you an extra civics action, which is really nice, and 3 extra blue tokens in your blue token pool, which means by having more of these tokens in your pool, you're less likely to take penalties for using too many of them. So that's pretty nice. I'm tempted to do that. Also like cannons. Coal is the upgrade of mines. Because I have iron mines, I think that, and by the way, I don't have enough. I really need to have more of those mines going for me. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to take Justice System and play it. I'll use the Breakthrough card, which you pay the full cost for a technology, and then you get a bit of science back. I've got that didn't since it increased the size of my civil actions pool. That wasn't as expensive in terms of civil actions as it looked. I really want to get riflemen, and I probably really want to get cavalry. So these are the 3 categories, and they're all age 2. With these, by owning these 3, I just made a pretty big investment by basically took this whole turn basically just to grab all these military technologies. It puts me in a position to use any tactic that comes up in the game. And also, I can ride these all the way through the end of the game. There are, of course, age 3. And when we get to the 3rd age, Instead of cannons, there's artillery. Instead of riflemen, there's infantry. Instead of cavalrymen, there's tanks. Which, who can say no to that? But any age 3 tactics that come up will be able to use age 2 military. Yeah, see, it is -1. I don't understand this when this lower number would ever get used, because there are no cavalry or cannons of age 1. Somebody will explain that to me. This will show up on YouTube eventually, and somebody will post in the comments and explain that all to me. Good. I'll look forward to it. Don't be shy. I have a lot of unused potential out here, but that's okay. I'm happy to make that. I will sort of sleep better knowing that I have all the military technologies that I absolutely have to get through the end of the game, plus cannons. All right. I could still use Barbarossa. Yeah. Oh, wait. Thank you. How crazy do I get with his ability? I mean, I've already got 5 guys out there. Look, I mean, if I can't draw an aggression or a war card, I guess what I'm going to look at my actions, because one idea would be, let's see, I took justice and played justice, okay. The other option would be to not take one of those technologies. No, let's just put all that off. Frederick's ability, by the way, makes it a lot easier to do this thing. Like if I want to switch tactics to mobile artillery, and which requires having some cannons, requires moving some troops around. With Frederick's ability, it's just a lot easier to do that. So it's really nice. All right, let's keep going on. What time is it? 11:15. No, I'm not going to use his ability. I think what I'll do is I'll play till the end of the second age, and then next Monday we'll finish this game. I gotta discard 2 cards. Well, I'm gonna discard those 2 cards. Get rid of. I have a lot more of these bonus cards I need. Oh, I got an aggression. Did you see it? It slid past. There it was. Okay. And blue got another one too, because there she goes again. She's just dominating. Oh, your time is coming, Blue. Your time is coming. You better invest in some military, because I just got an aggression card, and maybe I'll come after you. But no, I'll probably go against whoever's weakest. Okay, investing in coal. And there's Napoleon. I hope red doesn't take it. Okay, it's still in the cost 2 category. Let's see. Is red. Nope, didn't take it. Okay, what's coming down? Oh, my turn. And look at there. There's Napoleon. And there's constitutional monarchy. That's good. That's my favorite government in the game. Age 3, you get democracy and communism, and I don't know what else. I often will just take constitutional monarchy and ride that to the rest of the game. Okay, politics. This is when I would do an aggression card. Which aggression card is this? Infiltrate. Remove your rival's leader or unfinished wonder from play. Okay, so this one I want to use at somebody who's got a leader. What is her leader, by the way? Blue's leader is Isabella of Castile. During colonization, can pay resources to gain stuff. Okay, whatever. That's an age 1. She's going to lose this leader in a moment anyway. But she has Transcontinental Railroad under construction. That would be kind of nice to take out, because that's like a bunch of extra. Let's see, best mine produces blue tokens and +5 strength. We really can't have her having that. Green. Okay, let's review where we're at here. Okay, so red is running away with it with culture, because of Shakespeare, probably. And blue is doing pretty good with culture. I'm still in last place, of course. But terrorism hasn't come up yet, so that's okay. I think blue is who I'm worried about the most. Partially just because I know it has a better AI, and I'd really like to get. Okay, so aggressions are dangerous from a perspective. Oh, let's see. What cards do I know she has? She only has 3 of these cards. I don't know what they are, but she only has 3 of them. These military cards. So I'm going to go after that transcontinental railroad of hers. See if I can knock it out. Yep. I won the aggression, and I will remove the transcontinental railroad. Her leader's outdated anyway. So, all right. So that used 2 of my red actions, so I'll only draw 2 cards. That's okay. Let me introduce you to a guy named Napoleon. So Napoleon's ability is you get +2 strength and a red token, +2 strength for each different type of military unit you have. So that's pretty cool. So like right now it would be +4 strength because I have cavalry and I have military. So this makes me want to build a cannon and use Frederick's ability to build a cannon. Oh, before we get too excited, let's grab Constitutional Monarchy just so we have it. Okay, and I've got the resources I think I need. I may not have enough civil actions to do all this. So let's see. Okay, oh, that's right, I can do. Okay, but I can do it with Frederick's ability. Okay, so let's use Frederick's ability to build a cannon. Okay, so now I have a cannon, 4 knights, and an ancient era warrior. It's got clubs. Raytheon entered the chat. Hi guys. Okay, so now that I've used Frederick's ability to grab that, I could use it again. I think we wondered this earlier. Yeah, I could use it. I could build another knights. That sounds kind of fun. And let's do that. And I am going to have... I'm out of military action, so I can't update my tactic here. But I'm going to be in a really good position to update my tactic. And now I'm going to add Bonaparte. And notice my strength went up to 29. Now I just need military aggressions and wars. I'm not, I'm only going to get 1 draw this turn. So the downside of using all your military actions to build up a good military is that that turn you're going to have less chance of getting the wars and aggressions you need. I think I'm just going to draw some... Okay, so I've been ignoring culture this whole game. And but I am going to pivot to culture. And it usually happens about this time. Sometime towards the end of the second age or into the third age, I'm going to start thinking more about culture. The card I really want is this one, journalism. Journalism is one of my favorite cards in the game. It gives you 2 culture a turn and 2 science a turn. So it's kind of double dipping. It gives you. It's not quite as good as the pure science or the pure culture. But it's a really nice card. It's expensive. 6 science, but it costs 8 rocks to build your first one. So they're coming up last. There's 2 of them still to come in what we have left of the second age. So I should be able to get one of them. If I'm going to need more. Well, lots of things. I'm going to need more rocks. I'm going to need more science. And so, anyway, I'm going to need to get some yellow cards to help me build those things when I eventually do get them. So I'm going to take an urban growth, which will let me build or upgrade an urban building, which is what journalism will be. That'll cost 3 less. And that would... An upgrade isn't going to help me on building that. It will. I do also need more mines. What I could do with an upgrade, it doesn't help you build something, but it lets you upgrade something with a discount. So what you can do is do something like build a mine, a bronze mine, and then use that card to upgrade that bronze miner to an iron miner. There we go. Okay, well, I'm out of civil actions. I got one military action left, and so I think I'm going to call that good. Oh, I can play a tactic. I'm going to wait, and the reason I'm going to wait is I'm already really strong. I don't think it's going to matter between now and next turn to be stronger. And I would like to draw one card. So, no, in the turn. I have to discard a military card. Which do I want to get rid of? I think I want to. I don't think I'll use this double cannon card. It's the same as this in terms of strength. I already have cavalry out there, so I don't think I need fortifications. So let's get rid of it. That's it. All right. So let's see what happens next. Oh, yeah. Of course, I got pact instead of a war of aggression. Okay, fine. That's. Oh. Hey, develop technology. Okay, so here's a colony that came up that's really good. Oh my gosh, this is great. This is a great colony. It would be nice to get this one. I'm going to bid heavily on this. Okay, so this technology gives you 5 science right off the bat, and it adds 2 yellow tokens and 2 blue tokens to your pools over here, which is really good. So I know that I'm going to bid all of this, and that's a strength of, and this time I'm going to hit this button instead of the pass button. Okay, that's 8. It's a good enough card that somebody might bid more than 8. And I think I'm willing to pay more than 8 to get this card. Okay, I'm going to slide 2 knights up here. The 2 knights, the tactics apply to these calculations. So the 2, my tactic is, what was it, +5 for having 2 of these? I can't remember. But anyway, it's based on having 2 cavalry type units. Okay, so the 2 knights together are worth 4 plus the bonus from the tactic plus the warrior is got us up to a strength of 15. Oh, and I'm getting the bone. What else am I getting? Is there a pop down that's going to run out? Oh, plus all these. Okay, I'm bidding a lot. Let's see what happens. 15. Boss wins the colony. Blue and red pass on it. Green bids 7. So I have to pay 8. So there's 6 here, and I got 1 from Colossus and the Warrior. Oh my God. I think I got it for just the cost of the Warrior and these 3 cards, which is why I had them. So I'm getting some use out of that. Did that give me to 8? Yes, 8 over 8. Okay, so the core of my military is intact. If you were watching this video earlier, remember I mentioned how it's great to have just one warrior hanging out, one ancient era warrior, guys with the clubs hanging out in case, and send them to colonize. Yeah, with a whole bunch of support. Bam. Nice. Okay. That's good. Really happy with that. Okay, blue is investing in upgrading your military. Green is, who is this, Columbus? Or Cook, I think it's Columbus. Got coal and got pretty good science base. Well, let's see, I think I'm going to go play some Beat Saber. What's Beat Saber? Is that the name of a game? Or
Beat Saber. It's a VR game.
It's a VR game. Okay. All right. Prosperity each. I thought I'd have more happy faces than 3. I guess I just never have added any more happiness. And there comes journalism. And I'm going to get it. Well, not super cheap, but I'm going to get it. Okay, great. Okay, I still have no wars or aggressions. Scientific cooperation is a fun pact. It reduces the technology cost to to. It's kind of complicated. Every time one of the civilizations develops a technology, it pays 2 less, and the other civilization pays 1 science. It can be kind of dangerous if somebody else doesn't have, if you have the pact with somebody and they don't have the science. But usually people will have science because you get a bunch of science at the end of your turn. And you don't really have any other way to spend the science until it comes back to you. So unless some horrible event happens that causes you to lose all your science, I can't even think of what that would be. They usually, or if you just develop a whole bunch of technologies in one turn, it'll be okay. So who do I want to? I want to do this with whoever I think is weakest in the game. Oh, well, that's blue. Green, I mean. Green has the lowest strength, has the lowest culture, and the lowest culture output. Boy, I'm almost caught up with green on culture. They're really doing bad. Actually, my culture isn't that bad compared to blue or green. Red's the ones running away with culture. Okay, I'm going to propose this to green because green is in the worst position. So they're the one I'm worried about the least, and they're also the one that will benefit the most from this. So let's propose it to green. Pact rejected. I'm hurt. Okay, that used my political action. Okay, so let's. I got a bunch of science, but it wasn't enough to play monarchy. But that's okay, 'cause that's not what I want to play next. Constitutional monarchy. I would love to bring constitutional monarchy in there, and I would love to. Well, let's do this military thing first. Okay, that increased military to 30. I'm gonna build 1 ancient Arab warrior. You know why? To go on colonizations. I probably won't actually be able to do it for colonization because I don't have the cards on here that would boost me for colonization. But with Napoleon having, he's worth 3 military. He's worth a 3 strength because Napoleon has a +2 for every different type of military unit you have. So it's good to have all 3 types. Ultimately 4 types because in the third age we'll have Air Force. No, what I really want to do is what I was talking about with journalism, and let's deploy journalism, and I don't have quite 8. Oh, I can do it with urban growth. No, I can't. Oh, so I don't have enough resources. Okay, so I'm going to back up. I'm not going to put the warrior out because that warrior is keeping me from building journalism. Okay, so let's try this again. Simeon, that was the example of the undo feature. I just backed up throughout most of my turn. Now I'm going to try and get. I still don't have it, even without the warrior. I guess I am just really low on resources. Yeah, it costs 8 minus 3 is 5, and I only have 4, even without building the warrior. Okay, yeah. So, what I think I should do probably is. Well, I really need to have more guys here in production. There now my production is 6. And I have 2, so next turn I have 8. I would be able to do this. With the urban growth would help. Okay, so I'll be in a position to build my first journalist next turn. And since I can't build it this turn, there's not a good reason to play it, so I'm going to back up through my turn again. I'm going to, not so far that I don't take journalism, there's just no reason to play it this turn. As long as but I am going to do what I was doing with the mines. I'll build that mine, use efficient upgrade to upgrade the mine from bronze to iron. which I talked about before. That gives me a civil action that I can spend in this turn. Breakthrough would be nice because I have a lot of science things I want to do this era, and I'm a little low on science. I love team sports, by the way. Team sports is a great, not like really me personally. I did for a while. When I was young, there was an age where I was kind of big for my age, like at about age 11. I loved football, but then everybody else got much bigger than me, and I didn't get any bigger. I was this size at like age 12, maybe. There was a short window there where I did love like team sports, but I like it in this game because it gives you 2 military strength and 3 happiness, which combines really well with St. Pete's. But I have a whole bunch of technologies down here, and I don't know how I'm going to pay for all of them, and so I'm not going to take another technology that where I'm not sure I can pay for all the ones I have. Instead, I'm going to take the breakthrough card, and I think next turn 11 and 4 is 15, and this is 3 is 18, and constitutional monarchy and journalism is 18. Okay, if I take this card, I think I can next turn I think I'll be able to improve my government to constitutional monarchy, which I can ride to the end of the game if I want, and get my first journalism going, which will turn the corner on in that that'll be my first step in trying to pivot to building culture towards the end game while keeping my military strong with Napoleon and a strength of 30, and this is should probably end the second age, so this will probably be my last. That might have been my last turn. We'll see. Terrorism. Remember when we planted this card a long time ago? It finally came up. The civilization with the least culture points. Oh, who's that? That's me. Destroy 1 urban building of each other civilization. Okay, I just want to point out I do not advocate terrorism in real life. This is just a game. So I'm going to take a lot of gleeful joy in going through and eliminating a whole bunch of buildings from my worthy opponents. Come on, how do I do it? When do I get to do it? Probably on my turn, maybe. Oh, okay, so there we are. That's the end of the second age, is now the third age. Remember how I said that some cards will become obsolete? Like, so going into age 3, certain age 1 cards would be obsolete now. And here's an example. Blue lost Isabella of Castile, who blues used it very effectively. And an age 1 military card, red loses theology. And the open borders agreement between Haas and Green. Yeah, if I would have had, I would have taken advantage of that if I'd have had the war card, but I couldn't, so I didn't. Raiders. Green and red are the 2 weakest players. They lose some food or resources. Green got team sports. Somebody was going to take it. And is starting to build an ocean liner. And Green finally has a strength of higher than 3. My strength is 3-0. See, that's just fun. You don't need to win when you have a strength of 30 and everybody else is single digits. Okay. This is the okay, I'm going to destroy these buildings and then I'm going to call that it. Okay, civilization destroy. An event you will have to resolve at the end of the politics phase. Okay, so I do my politics phase and then it resolves. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we're starting to get some age 3 cards here. First of all, let's see. I could do an aggression. I've got 2 aggressions. What do I want to do? Well, that's officially age 3. I said I was going to quit age. Okay, we will resolve all this. So, next week, we will come back. We will finish this game of Through the Ages. We will begin it by terrorizing my opponents and destroying with an aggression, followed by resolving the terrorism, and then I'm going to upgrade to a constitutional monarchy and blame all that terrorism on the previous monarch, and we're going to get journalism into play, and we might get some tanks. All right. Okay, so let's see. What do I do next, Marcus? Let's see. I think I'd go to the thanks for watching stuff, right?
Correct.
Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you for coming by. Paul, Simeon, and Sogato, I wish you would have stayed around and given me some advice. That would have been great. Okay, so we are going to go. Oh, it's the one that plays the